For decades, Sean Diddy Combs has been one of the most powerful names in music. He's been a mogul, a hit maker, a cultural icon. But in recent months, his name has made headlines for very different reasons. While he just scored a legal victory that his team is celebrating, the bigger picture is still dark, and it's getting darker by the day. The recent case that was dismissed came from an allegation dating back to 1995. A woman using the name Jane Doe claimed Diddy raped her at a party almost 30 years ago. The court, however, never got the chance to actually dig into the details of her story. Why? Because the judge dismissed the case on a technicality. The woman never refiled under her real name, which the court required. That's it. That was the reason the case got thrown out. No jury, no trial, no deep investigation. Just paperwork. And now it's gone. Diddy's legal team wasted no time in spinning this as a win. They called out the use of anonymity in lawsuits like this, suggesting that it allows people to throw out serious claims without accountability. His lawyers said they were confident that other cases against him would also fall apart. But here's the thing. This win is just a drop in the ocean, because while this one case disappeared, Diddy is still drowning in legal troubles. Right now, he's facing some of the most serious allegations of his entire career. Federal prosecutors are accusing him of sex trafficking, coercion, and even running a network that exploited women. Some people are calling it a real-life freak-off ring, where parties were allegedly organized to trap and manipulate people into doing things against their will. The kind of things that have nothing to do with music and everything to do with abuse of power. He's also facing racketeering charges. That's the kind of charge usually reserved for organized crime rings. And that's exactly what prosecutors are saying Diddy was running. A system, a structure, something that didn't happen by accident, but was carefully built. They're saying he used his wealth, his fame, and his industry connections to create an environment where people were afraid to say no, and where some were used like objects. And now he's behind bars, awaiting trial. The man who once stood on stages and red carpets, who threw million-dollar parties and launched global brands, is now sitting in a jail cell. No camera crews, no VIP passes, just bars and walls and time. His legal team is still talking tough, still calling these accusations exaggerated, false, or fame-seeking. But the reality is, this isn't just one case. There's a long list of women and men coming forward, a pattern that's hard to ignore. What's even more intense is how fast Diddy's image has flipped. Not long ago, he was the polished, powerful king of New York, taking victory laps for his impact on hip-hop, fashion, and business. Now, he's being painted as a predator, someone who manipulated the system for personal pleasure and gain. And even though one case just got dismissed, the damage to his reputation is already massive. The judge who dismissed the 1995 case made it clear this was not a ruling on whether Diddy was guilty or innocent. It was purely procedural. It doesn't mean the woman was lying. It doesn't mean the event didn't happen. It just means she didn't follow the court's rule to put her name on the record. In the legal world, that happens more often than people think. But in the court of public opinion, where headlines matter more than footnotes, it gets read differently. Some fans still defend Diddy. They say he's being targeted. They say people are trying to bring down a black mogul because he became too powerful. But others see this as long overdue. A reckoning. A moment when years of whispers and rumors are finally catching up to a man who thought he was untouchable. And in an industry that has protected powerful men for far too long, this feels different. It feels serious. What's also being debated is the line between fame and responsibility. Diddy has always known how to use the spotlight. Whether it was creating Bad Boy records, launching Ciroc, or bringing fashion to hip-hop. He built an empire off of being visible. But now that the spotlight is shining on his darkest moments, that same fame is working against him. Every allegation becomes news. Every court date is a headline. Every word he or his lawyers say gets amplified. Even people close to him are starting to fall back. There's a silence around Diddy now that's louder than any of his past records. Some artists who once praised him are quiet. Some brands have distanced themselves. In the fast-paced world of entertainment, loyalty doesn't always survive scandal, especially when the accusations are this serious. It's also brought up bigger conversations about power in the music industry. How many others have used fame to get away with things behind closed doors? How many young artists and models were invited to industry parties that turned into nightmares? The Diddy case is becoming a symbol of something much bigger, a system that might finally be forced to confront its darkest corners. Still, the road ahead for Diddy is not yet written. Legal systems move slow. Trials take time. Evidence will be presented. Witnesses will speak. And only then will the full truth come out. But regardless of what the courts decide, the damage is done. His legacy is forever changed. Whether he's found guilty or not, these accusations will follow him for life. Every time someone mentions his name, this chapter will come up. Some people are hoping for redemption. Maybe they believe Diddy can bounce back, prove his innocence, and rebuild. Others think there's no coming back from this. That even if he walks free, the public won't forget. And then there are those who just feel sad. Sad that someone who once inspired millions might have caused so much pain. For now, Diddy sits in a cell. His team calls the 1995 dismissal a victory. But it's hard to celebrate when everything else around you is falling apart. One case down doesn't erase the rest. The spotlight is still on him, and it's not going anywhere. This isn't about one party in 1995. This is about a lifetime of choices, a mountain of accusations, and a man whose story is still unfolding, one courtroom at a time.